Will Oleksandr Usyk relinquish his WBO title, which will then enable Joseph Parker and Daniel Dubois to scrap it out for 2 belts, the IBF and the WBO, while Usyk himself waits in the wings for the winner. They then fight for Undisputed. That could be a possibility, man. That is not far from the realms of imagination. That could happen. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Look, it's been a while now. Do you know what I mean? It's been a while since the announcement from the WBO. Joseph Parker was made mandatory. As you all know, a week after or something, Chisora was made a mandatory for the IBF title that Daniel Dubois holds. We haven't heard anything for weeks now. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's silent. We haven't heard nothing from Oleksandr Usyk. He said nothing. He hasn't addressed the situation or anything. Joseph Parker has come out and called out Oleksandr Usyk. He dropped a song on his YouTube channel. You can go check it out. So Parker wants that fight. Parker even did an interview. He said that he's not looking for a money fight. Because listen, they were offering him AJ. That's a big money fight. But Parker said, you know what? At this moment of time, I don't want a money fight. I want a title fight. So I'm after that WBO title or the IBF that Daniel Dubois holds. Do you know what I mean? So Parker has made his intentions clear. He knows exactly what he wants. Dubois, after going missing for a month, he went MIA after he dropped out of the fight on the 22nd of February against Joseph Parker due to illness, COVID, a flu, a cold, dark king, whatever you want to call it. He dropped out. He finally came out and addressed the public. Do you know what I mean? And he started talking about, yo, I'll fight everyone. I'll fight Parker. I'll fight Usyk. I'll fight AJ, Chisora. Anybody that wants to smoke, I'm going to fight them. So Dubois has spoken. The only person that hasn't spoken is Usyk, man. You know what? Even Derek Chisora, their boy spoken. He's like, yo, I'm mandatory for the IBF. I'm going to wait my turn. I'm going to fight for that. I'm not moving. Do you know what I mean? So the governing bodies, they've spoken. 3 of the fighters have spoken. But the missing piece, the guy that can actually get the ball rolling, the guy that can actually make everything start moving, Oleksandr Usyk hasn't said nothing, man. If he has said something, drop in the comments. Let me know what he said, because I haven't heard from him. I haven't seen anything. I checked his Instagram, checked his other social media pages. Nothing. Silent from Usyk. So, is Usyk maybe thinking, you know what? I've got one big serious fight left in boxing, yeah? Because he said he's got 18 months, 2 fights. And the second fight is going to be a gimmicky fight. He wants to fight Jake Paul. He wants to fight Alex Pereira from the UFC. So he's looking for the bag, innit? His last fight, he wants to take it easy. Who blames him? Undisputed the cruiserweight, undisputed the heavyweight division. Usyk really can do whatever the hell he wants. Do you know what I mean? He's won the game. You say whatever you want about Usyk, but he's conquered boxing, bro. Do you know what I mean? We can't even give him too much smoke or too much criticism because the guy's earned it. He's done it all the hard way. Do you know what I mean? So he can do whatever he wants to do. So if Usyk is probably thinking, you know what? Bruv, everyone's giving, like, the whole public want to see Parker fight for a title. How about this? Listen, I dropped this WBO. Let him and Dubois scrap for it. I'll just fight the winner. Do you know what I mean? Usyk is still going to make big money. And he can still fight for Undisputed. Because if he gets, let's say they take his titles from him, let's say the WBO strips Oleksandr Usyk, then the fight against Dubois is meaningless, isn't it? It's not for Undisputed. So he might as well just do himself, everybody else a favor, relinquish the WBO, let Parker, because Parker's mandatory, so automatically Parker's fighting for that belt. He can fight Daniel Dubois. Do you know what I mean? He can fight Daniel Dubois. That's 2 belts on the line. Parker, Dubois, whoever the winner, they fight Oleksandr Usyk at the end of the year. Crazy fight for Undisputed. Big money. Pay-per-views is going to be crazy as well. For me, that makes sense. And do you know where I'm getting this from? I was watching Uncle Frank, you know, on The Zone. Do you know what I mean? This past weekend. And he did an interview with a radio station, and they asked him, yo, what's going on, man? Joseph Parker, Dubois, Usyk, the titles. And he said, look, Parker is the mandatory. Do you know what I mean? And Usyk, you know what I mean? Like, he's still saying it's up to Usyk. And if Usyk, was to drop the WBO title, then Dubois and Parker can fight for the 2 belts. That's what Uncle Frank said. Do you know what I mean? Now, we have to take whatever Uncle Frank says with a pinch of salt. Do you know what I mean? We can't really believe everything that Uncle Frank says. You know what I mean? That we know, But it got me thinking, it actually makes sense. It actually makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Because everyone wants to see, especially the boxing fans, they've made it clear they want to see Parker fight for a title next. Do you know what I mean? And because Dubois pulled out their last fight, ducked, whatever, do you know what I mean? Didn't want to fight Parker, whatever happened. It actually makes sense for Parker and Dubois to scrap it out, mate. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine if that fight was announced? Parker versus Dubois for the WBO and the IBF titles on the line. That would be crazy. That would say, for me, at Wembley, that fight has to be at Wembley, man. Do you know what I mean? I reckon that does 80,000 at Wembley, man. Maybe not 86,000 like Dubois did with AJ, but he's definitely doing 80,000 at Wembley, man. Do you know what I mean? That's going to do big numbers, man. Pay-per-views are going to be nice and sweet. Uncle Frank is going to make money. Parker's going to make money. Dubois is going to make money. Do you know what I mean? That's a big fight. And also, because these 2 camps have been going back and forth, do you know what I mean? Andy Lee coming out and saying, yo, we haven't got no evidence. We ain't got the medical cards, medical certificates from Dubois' camp. Con Charles, a.k.a. Don Charles, coming out saying, yo, we're not ducking Parker. Are you silly, bro? Have you seen who we've beaten? Why would we duck Parker? Do you know what I mean? So at the moment, there's ill feeling, there's bad tension between both camps. Do you know what I mean? I can just imagine the press conferences. Can you imagine the press conference if these 2 come head to head? Do you know what I mean? The first press conference for the last fight, that what didn't happen, it was already getting heated because Daniel Dubois seemed like he was overlooking Joseph Parker. Do you know what I mean? And Joseph Parker and his team, they took it as a bit of disrespect. You know what I mean? How dare you look past me because you're chasing the Usyk fight while you've got me. You got business to handle with me, but you're looking at Usyk. You're looking for a rematch with Usyk. Do you know what I mean? So that kind of made Joseph Parker, Andy Lee, and the rest of the team feel disrespected. Do you know what I mean? So there is tension there. There is a bit of needle there. So the press conference is gonna be crazy. Don Charles, Andy Lee, they're gonna get involved. He's gonna get heated. Dubois, all hyped up. He's back from hibernation, wherever he was sleeping, wherever he's coming back from. Parker, again, the calm influence, humble dude. It's going to be interesting, man. And you know what? There's bad blood. That makes for a very exciting fight. That's good for us, the fans. We're the biggest winners because we're going to get a very exciting fight. And that's exactly what I want to see. Do you know what I mean? All we want to see is Joseph Parker get the title fight. Do you know what I mean? Dubois, go show us that you're not ducking. Do you know what I mean? Like, people are calling you triple duck, triple knee, also all type of names. Do you know what I mean? So go out there and show to the public, the boxing fans, that, yo, I'm not ducking Joseph Parker. I can handle Joseph Parker. Do you know what I mean? And win, lose, or draw, listen, at the end of the day, we're going to respect the winner. Because at least you go in that ring and you handle business. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I'm thinking, yo, this could happen. It could happen. Usyk can just chill. He's got 18 months. There's no rush. He can just chill. Chill. Let these guys scrap it out. Do you know what I mean? And he fights the winner for Undisputed. Nothing for Usyk to lose. There's nothing for him to lose. Do you know what I mean? As long as he sits on ice, he stays tight, he doesn't take a risky warm-up fight against like a Caballero, like that would be a madness. Do you know what I mean? Like, Parker, Dubois, they can handle business. Do you know what I mean? End of the year, they fight Usyk for Undisputed. That makes sense for me. Do you know what I mean? I did hear some news, like, do you know what I mean? Some guy, I did watch some guy, he broke the news, like, oh no, Daniel Dubois, apparently with Oleksandr Usyk, the fight is set. it's all signed and everything like that. They're going to fight in July. Do you know what I mean? Like, apparently gave a date. I don't remember, but apparently there's a date set in July for Usyk and Dubois to fight. I just didn't believe that because there was no traction. There was no follow-up, no nothing. Apparently the guy has sources and stuff like that. Like, he's got sources close to Dubois or Usyk's camp, and they've informed him, yo, these fights happening. I don't think so. Do you know what I mean? I read it, I looked at, watched the video, but I was like, yo, this don't make no sense. Do you know what I mean? It just don't make no sense. There was no traction to it. So I don't believe that. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe that. But Usyk to relinquish his WBO title, for me, that's a possibility. That is a possibility. And Joseph Parker, Daniel Dubois scrapping it out for those belts. Bring it on. Bring it on, man. But listen, let me know, man. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you believe that Oleksandr Usyk might relinquish his WBO title, freeing up Joseph Parker and Daniel Dubois to fight for those 2 belts? Let me know in the comments. Or do you think it was going to be Oleksandr Usyk, Daniel Dubois for Undisputed in July? It's coming up. Do you know what I mean? Let me know what you think in the comments. But I'm just going by what Uncle Frank said at the weekend. I'm going by that. And you know what? I'm excited for those type of matchups. I don't mind because Usyk can just wait in the wings and he can fight the winner for Undisputed. Let me know in the title if you agree with me or you think, you know what, nah, Enzo, it's not happening. Let me know in the comments. I'll really appreciate it. Once again, thank you so much for watching EMGM Sports. I'm your boy Enzo. Please don't forget to smash the like button. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe because that's the only way you're going to help us to grow. I'll be back real soon with another one. Until then, stay blessed, my people. Peace.